Welcome, class of 2022. The commencement ceremony for the UCLA College of Letters and Science will begin in just a few moments. Graduates and guests, please take your seats. Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to UCLA and our celebration of the College of Letters and Science class of 2022. Graduates, family, and friends, we present the official party.
Will the official party please be seated? Buenos dias, good morning. It is my honor to welcome you to UCLA's Commencement weekend. My name is Barbara Fuchs, and I teach in the Department of Spanish and Portuguese and the Department of English. It is my pleasure to serve as the College Marshal for this ceremony. Before we begin, the College of Letters and Science at UCLA acknowledges our presence on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Gaudialino Tongva peoples. This ceremony is our first college commencement in person after 2 long years. We are reconvening in a different world than when we were last able to honor a graduating class. We bring to this event our experience of a global pandemic, our commitment to address racial injustice, and our hope for the years ahead to be filled with the many accomplishments and contributions of our graduates to a world that sorely needs you. To everyone here today, I want to offer my warmest congratulations. I know how proud you are as the family members and friends of our very special graduates. Felicidades a todos. You have enriched their lives with your love and support throughout their studies, whether their classes were held on campus here in Westwood or in your homes courtesy of Zoom, for what seemed like a very long time. Together, our entire community at UCLA shares your pride in these remarkable, resilient students and thanks you from the heart. Singing the national anthem this morning is Nikki Najad Rasul. She is graduating today with a degree in psychology. Please welcome Nikki.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you, Nikki. Now I am pleased to introduce the Senior Dean of the College and Dean of Humanities, David Schaberg.
Hello, UCLA graduates. On behalf of the deans, the faculty, and the honored guests who join me on this stage, I welcome you and your families to the commencement ceremony for the College of Letters and Science. I'd also like to thank Professor Barbara Fuchs, our college marshal, for greeting our guests this morning. Graduates, this is a day to acknowledge your achievements and to celebrate the culmination of your undergraduate studies. You've met the highest challenges of education. You've been partners with faculty in our quest to learn and to discover, and you'll be the next generation of leaders in the fields that you pursue. Class of 2022, your academic journey has led you here to this historic moment, which will never come again. Together, we look forward to a bright future. Graduates, joining us here today are many special people who stood by you through your years at UCLA, your family, and your friends. I'd like to ask the parents, the partners, the friends, and the family members of our graduates to stand. And graduates, please join me in acknowledging your guests. Thank you. Now I'm pleased to welcome the Chancellor of UCLA. In his 14 years as chief executive of the campus, he's worked to strengthen the university's academic excellence, build our campus diversity, and inspire a new level of civic engagement within the UCLA family. Please welcome the Chancellor of UCLA, Gene Block.
Wow, wow. Graduates, families, friends, guests, regents of the University of California, and our distinguished speaker, welcome to the nation's #1 public university. So as UCLA's Chancellor, it's my great honor to join with you in this wonderful celebration. And I've been looking forward to this for a very long time. For today, we pay tribute to the incredible, the inimitable, the unshakable UCLA class of 2022. Congratulations. And graduates, this is your day, and we're going to reflect on your monumental achievements, but especially in light of all that you've had to overcome, it's also a day that we have to look ahead, and in so many ways, you're going to shape our future. So you're graduating today, but you are, what I'm looking out here is the future of this country, of this world. So a lot of responsibility. And while you are the stars of this show, no doubt today, as mentioned, there's so many others that helped you today. So let's give another round of applause to guardians, grandparents, great-grandparents, brothers, sisters, children, mentors, friends, and everyone else who helped you with their unflagging love and support. It really does take a village, and I know all of you have been supported. So after 2 years, amazingly, of virtual and hybrid commencement events, it's a joy to be back in Pauley Pavilion for today's ceremony. So this is a special day for all of us. A tradition like this one bonds you to generations of UCLA students who have come before you. And today's ceremony is a ritual not unlike other rituals taking place that you've experienced. Friends late in the night on the Hill, doing the 8 clap alongside cheering Bruin fans while winning games, or stopping by the sculpture gardens on a warm spring evening. These are all special memories. Commencement is a point of connection you share with UCLA graduates in the past, but also for future generations as well. You know, I've been here now 14 years and I've seen 14 classes, and I still revel in all that you achieve after you leave this institution. So it's not only what you've achieved, but what you will achieve. Though you have much in common with Bruins of past eras, this graduating class experience really is unique. We recognize that. It's colored by what took place on campus and in the broader world when you were a student here. And you've experienced college years that are really truly distinctive. As you know, during your time at UCLA, you saw the world in the grip of a crisis as the COVID pandemic took hold, bringing us pain, fear, and obviously a lot of upheaval. Many of you felt the whiplash of moving back in with your parents, not a bad thing, but a change. Turning kitchen tables into classrooms. We saw a lot of kitchen tables in Zoom. Taking up your new roles as caregivers, grappling with feelings of isolation, adapting to other transformations in your lives. You really have been tested like no other class, certainly since I've been here. These past years were singular in other ways as well. You experienced and likely voted in the most polarizing presidential election that our nation has ever seen, at least in recent years. You saw a shocking and brazen siege of the US Capitol building during the first week of 2021. You felt the effect of climate disaster, effects of climate change like wildfires, excessive heat in California, severe flooding in Europe and South Asia, and brush fires in Australia. So you're really beginning to see the impact, unfortunately, of a warming world. You experienced the troubling invasion of Ukraine this spring, and far too many times you witnessed the deep pain of racial injustices and horrific mass shootings throughout this country. So you really have had a really special and challenging set of circumstances while you've been here. These experiences have challenged you, but they've shaped you. They've helped you develop a tremendous ability to adapt to the tectonic shifts in your life. You really have been challenged, but I believe it really has influenced and strengthened all of you. They give you greater respect for science and truth, and a stronger recognition of the dangers of misinformation. Again, that is so important, and that's what you have hopefully learned. And critically, they reinforce the need to fight for this planet's future, which we now know is fragile. We should have always known that, but we certainly know that now. And even as they stirred up anguish, all these events etched at you a compassion and empathy that is special when you experience these challenges, as well as a commitment to seeking justice and contributing to the greater good. So it has strengthened you and given you resolve. So members of the class of 2022, today's world may look like a harrowing one, I agree. But crises are also moments of immense possibility, where the traditional order can be shifted and new thinking applied to old problems. So it really forces you to think new ways of solving problems, shaped by your experiences and your sense of what is right and good. And with your UCLA degree in tow, you're incredibly well positioned to enact this change. You'll be the ones who sculpt the more beautiful and a more just world, a more just world and a more livable planet, and that's really going to be your responsibility along with all of us. As you prepare to leave UCLA, I hope you'll take with you the ties that bind you to this institution and its community. You are now the newest members of the UCLA Alumni Association, and stay connected. It's a way wherever you are in the world to stay connected to other Bruins, so please be involved. And you'll find in that, obviously, many like-minded peers and many unlike-minded peers, as you've had here. You'll learn to challenge new concepts and new ideas, and that's what will make you stronger. I also encourage you to reflect on the powerful forces that have shaped you in these past few years. Consider what they mean to what you've become and where you will go from here. As I said, and I can't say it enough, you really have had a unique experience, but I think all of you will be stronger because of that experience. So graduates, once again, let me offer my deepest gratitude and my best wishes. I hope your education will serve you well in the future, and we all look forward to the great contributions you'll make. Congratulations to the UCLA class of 2022. I wish you most success, the best of luck, and last time, go Bruins. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Block. Good morning, everyone. My name is Adriana Galvan. I'm the Dean of Undergraduate Education. My fellow deans and I are honored to acknowledge the students who graduate today with very special academic achievements. I would like to recognize the students who are graduating with one of the highest academic awards the College of Letters and Science can give to an undergraduate, the designation of College Honors. The extraordinary students who are graduating with college honors have completed outstanding work in their major and also a special set of rigorous courses. Of the thousands of students who are graduating from UCLA this year, over 550 are receiving college honors. Will the students who are graduating today with college honors please stand? Thank you. Please be seated. Dean Johnson will recognize your service in the community.
Graduates, my name is Tracy Johnson, and I'm the Dean of Life Sciences. I am pleased to recognize our many students who are involved in projects in the community. They accomplish this work through campus programs that bring together civic involvement with their academic coursework. Would all of the graduating seniors who served in the community please stand? Thank you, and thank you for your service. Dean Hunt will recognize the Chancellor's Service Award recipients.
Graduates, I am Darnell Hunt, Dean of Social Sciences. I am privileged to acknowledge the recipients of the 2022 Chancellor's Service Award. The Chancellor's Service Award is presented to students whose college careers have been distinguished by dedication to UCLA and the community. These students, 166 of them this year, have earned this distinction through sustained record of outstanding leadership service. Will the students who have been honored as recipients of the Chancellor's Service Award please stand so we can recognize your superb commitment? Thank you. Please be seated. Dean Schaberg will recognize those who have earned Latin honors.
Hello, graduates. I'd like to present our students who are receiving Latin honors, which is recognition for high academic achievement. There are 3 levels of Latin honors. First, I'd like to acknowledge students who've received cum laude honors. Please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Please be seated. Next, I'd like to honor our students who are graduating with magna cum laude honors. Please stand and be recognized for your accomplishments. Thank you. Finally, let's honor the students who are graduating with the highest Latin honors, summa cum laude. Please stand and be recognized. Dean Garcia Garibay will recognize your effort in research.
Hello, graduates. I am Miguel Garcia Garibay, Dean of the Division of Physical Sciences. I would like to recognize students who have participated in research while at UCLA. As you know, UCLA is one of the world's greatest research universities, and more than half of our students enhance their academic careers by working alongside faculty on projects, or writing an honors thesis, or participating in research classes. These students perform original work and advance the frontiers of knowledge. Would all the graduating seniors who participated in research please stand so that we can recognize your achievements? Congratulations, please be seated.
Thank you, Dean Garcia Garibay. Graduates, you have excelled in everything you've put your mind to, from research to community service, from academic success to personal enrichment. You've spent your years at UCLA becoming well-rounded and ready to begin a new chapter. Your student speaker for this morning embodies many of your own successes. Stephanie Wijaje is from Walnut, California, and is graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Biology, summa cum laude. After transferring to UCLA, she pursued her passion for medicine as an oncology research scholar at the Lundquist Institute of Harbor UCLA Medical Center. Beyond her studies, Stephanie has enjoyed mentoring new transfer students under the UCLA Transfer Mentorship Program and teaching ukulele to children with chronic illnesses. She looks forward to a career in medicine as a pediatrician. Please welcome Stephanie.
Good afternoon, Chancellor Block, distinguished alumni, faculty, family, friends, and the graduating class of 2022. It is such an honor to be delivering this year's commencement speech here at the home of UCLA's champions. Seated here, we are ready to take off to our next new goal, whether that is to discover a new cancer therapeutic, make it to the list of Forbes 30 under 30, or perhaps finally get a solid 8 or maybe 9 hours of sleep after having stayed up all night studying for finals. Whatever that goal may be, what you have learned here at UCLA is nothing short of success. After all, we are at the #1 public university. So, if you ever feel like you're in a rut, do not think you're a failure. Behind every inspiring story is a true struggle that tests one's ability to meet the light at the end of the tunnel. Flashback 7 years ago, when I was in middle school, I wrote in my red notebook of dreams that I wanted to be a Bruin undergrad. But as time went on, I forgot about my notebook and this dream entirely. I stumbled my way through community college thinking that UCLA was an unobtainable destination. I was expected to achieve greater things by others, but could not fully believe in it myself. It was not until I opened up my UCLA acceptance letter and sat in my chair dumbstruck for a good 5 minutes that I realized dreams do come true. Even if the path is non-linear and full of tears, as long as I keep on going in life, I can make it. So here I am, successfully transferred to UCLA, my dream school, and ready to start a new chapter in my life. But let me get the facts straight about reality. You are not meant to take the successful path of Taylor Wang, who studied physics here at UCLA and became the first Chinese scientist to go into space. And you are definitely not meant to take the successful path of Katelyn Ohashi, our UCLA alumni perfect score gymnast, who is sitting right here, probably thinking, wow, graduation seemed so long ago for me. Although their achievements are incredible and deserving of eternal praise, you all are meant to take the successful path of your own name. You make your own history, not recreate others, for you have the potential to be a legend too. So, graduating Bruins, reflect upon the hard work and dedication I put forth for all these years. The all-nighters studying in the Powell Library and mustering the energy just to walk up all those hills to get to class. And be proud of the unique path you took to make it here today. But also, remember all the joyful times you made with your Bruin family, whether that was watching the sunset at Jan Steps or petting the infamous Powell cat. The hard times and the good times have led us to this very moment, which will be etched as one of the most beautiful moments in life. But before we take a leave from our undergraduate years permanently, I would like to thank everyone for coming here today, especially the parents here who have raised the beautiful children sitting right in front of us. Thank you for being a part of our journeys. But as always, farewells are hard to say. And for that reason, I'll say this instead. Congratulations, class of 2022. You have finally made it. Being a Bruin and making out these unprecedented times shows that you have resilience like no other. So, as you all go your own way after today, just give yourself a pat on the back, and perhaps also proudly recite to yourselves Kobe Bryant's words, "What can I say? Mamba out." Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. That was fantastic. And it's now my great pleasure to introduce our distinguished speaker, UCLA alumna, Katelyn Ohashi. Katelyn Ohashi, as we all know, took the world by storm with a joyful gymnastics floor routine that earned her a perfect score at the 2019 Collegiate Challenge and racked up, and listen to this, 230 million views on YouTube. Think about all those zeros, 230 million. But Katelyn was a force to be reckoned with long before that, having been a standout gymnast in her early years, and having won her first senior elite competition against Simone Biles at age 15. Despite a back injury that doctors said would end her athletic career, Katelyn overcame physical struggles, personal doubts to earn a place on UCLA's top-ranked gymnastics team in 2015. She attended our university from 2015 to 2019, winning all manner of accolades and becoming an NCAA national champion, as well as earning her degree in gender studies. With her gymnastic success as a platform, Katelyn has used her voice, photography, and poetry to comment on societal issues, including body shaming, sexual assault, and cyberbullying. Far more than a talented and influential athlete, she's become widely recognized as an activist, writer, performer, and artist. Katelyn is a living, walking, and sometimes cartwheeling champion of the values that we strive to impart in our students. And we are grateful to have such a distinguished young alumna with us today. Please join me in welcoming Katelyn Ohashi.
Wow, all that and I'm still incredibly nervous. But how crazy is it we get to stand in front of each other today? I graduated 3 years ago, which coincidentally was also the last in-person graduation. So let's get a round of applause for surviving a pandemic and making it to graduation. I want to thank Chancellor Jean Block, the staff that made this all happen, UCLA Athletics, my family who actually gets to be in the audience today, and my friends that are always in my corner because we all know it takes a village. And last but not least, the infamous Valerie Condos Field for taking a chance on me 7 years ago. I remember the day I committed to UCLA like it was yesterday, probably because I experienced my highest high and my lowest low in the span of a few hours. I visited Westwood and immediately fell in love with our school. I committed right there and then to Miss Val, my coach, and then my team crying and celebrating as I was overwhelmed by joy. Sometime later when I got home and back to the dorms and settled in, I called the boy I was dating at the time to share the fact that I just committed to one of my favorite schools, UCLA. To my shock and surprise, he brought me down to earth real quick with a flurry of negativity disguised as advice, letting me know that I shouldn't leave for California so that we could stay together, creating that fairy tale high school love. I almost changed my entire career path. I got off the phone and I called Miss Val to tell her that I shouldn't have committed to UCLA and may have made the biggest mistake of my life. Looking back at everything now, might have been the biggest mistake calling her and telling her that. But I am happy I did because she told me that it was okay to feel that way. That it's okay for us to be afraid and uncomfortable because it's in those moments that we truly discover who we are and who we want to be. Ms. Val told me that UCLA is made for leaders and that I should lead my life in the direction I want to go, taking into account my best interests, not anyone else's. So as I stepped onto campus for the first time and the second time, and as a matter of fact, even today, I could feel that. So I want to congratulate each and every one of you on graduating and being here today because you guys are all a part of that leadership. To say that we graduated from a place that pushes us to our limits and inspires us to be the best versions of ourselves is an understatement because you guys are all the reason it is that way. The only regrets in life I have are the opportunities I've been too shy to take, whether it's to conform to society and blend in, that feeling of wanting to be liked rather than respected, being afraid of judgment, the thought of failure and not being able to please the people around me, or not having the voice to speak up. I remember calling Miss Val at 16 years old to ask her for a spot on the UCLA gymnastics team, not even knowing if I was going to be able to do gymnastics ever again due to my back injury. She was curious why I wasn't pursuing the Olympics anymore, and then she asked me the last time I was actually happy doing gymnastics. And this wasn't a question I had ever considered, but I knew exactly when it was. I answered definitively. 11 years old before I ever went elite. I had spent 1/3 of my gymnastics career at that point unhappy and pursuing a career everyone around had presented to me like it was their own. I was in an abusive environment where using your voice was far from welcomed and invalidated and repercussed when we did. So I learned to be fearful of using my voice. So my voice, along with my thoughts, diminished. I never even bothered to stop and ask myself what I wanted out of my gymnastics career. So how do you fight for something when you don't even know what you're fighting for? How do you stand up for something when you don't even know where your beliefs fall? There are two definitions for acceptance. The first one that we typically gravitate towards is the action or process of being received as adequate or suitable, typically to be admitted into a group. And the second one is the action of consenting to receive or undertake something. The first definition relies on how others perceive us, whereas the second one is us taking ownership over our own worth. It's the fact that we have the power to accept what is handed to us. My freshman year was eye-opening to me in a lot of ways. It was evident that I still needed to heal quite a bit from a sport that never made me feel like I was enough. During a team meeting, we went around the table calling out what our anchor was, that thing that was holding us back. And when it got to me, I answered, I don't ever want to be great again. Everything I had associated greatness with caused me misery. Gymnastics is a sport that gains recognition every 4 years during the Olympics. And if you don't come away with a gold medal around your neck, it seems like it was all for nothing. It's every little gymnast's dream. It used to be my dream too, so when that dream quickly vanished in front of me, I felt like a failure. I've learned in life that most things never go as planned. So while goal setting is good, I've learned that being able to adapt in the direction you want to head is even better. You have to learn to roll with the punches because life will punch you and knock you down, and at times it might even feel like it's winning. When I realized gymnastics wasn't my everything, I was able to accept greatness again for what it truly is. In 2019, we broke ticket sale records at every school we attended. For the first time in gymnastics history, the Olympics wasn't the only thing on people's radar. And for the first time in my gymnastics history, it no longer mattered that I didn't have a gold medal around my neck. Because redefining my definition of success and what that looks like was my very own win. So sometimes success is getting out of bed in the morning. Sometimes your 100% is a 40%. But just know that success is like having the last punch in life. So no matter how you look, just keep swinging and maybe hit him with a haymaker. Most missed opportunities don't come from not taking them, but from not seeking them. Actually, during my time at UCLA, I worked on a project with Bruin Shelter, a student-run organization for students, for other students that are experiencing housing insecurity. When they first started and began looking for housing, they knocked on 100 church doors where they heard 100 no's. It wasn't until their 101st door that they knocked on when they finally received their yes. So most of the time, life doesn't come knocking on your door. Instead, don't hesitate to knock on doors, and if you don't hear a yes your first time, it doesn't mean there won't be one. Now is the time to live life fully and try all the things you want. Life is all about the pursuit rather than the destination, and your life started yesterday, not today at graduation. So live your life fully and unapologetically. I want to share a poem I wrote with all of you called Never Give Up. Maybe when I'm a teenager, I'll finally be grown. I'll make it known to everyone around I am no longer a kid. Maybe then I won't get looked down upon. The older kids won't think I'm lame, and as for myself, I'll understand the game. We really aren't that different. We're all one and the same. And when I turned 13, I knew they didn't feel the same. I wanted to be seen, so I kept chasing this dream, and the further I got, the quicker it seemed. I was now 16 and driving a car, but was only allowed to take it so far. Yet, I still got in my first accident. And that wouldn't be my last. You'd think I would have learned something, but sometimes I find myself driving so fast. I'm always in a rush from one thing to the next, thinking, if I achieve that one thing, I'll finally feel whole. But every time I reach that goal, I still find it never truly feeds my soul. So I ask myself, how will I know when I'm grown? Will it be the chance to finally live my life as my own? Will it be grow man's clone imprinted on the nape of my neck? Will it be when I finally receive my very first check? Will it look like this piece of paper printed out, like you have finally made it into the real world, where fairy tales seem few and far between? I still remember being that little girl who used to always chase her dreams. I look around now, confused and scared as hell. My life's in my hands, and what if it doesn't go well? Mac Miller said, you can have the world in the palm of your hands, you still might drop it. And I reflect on my collegiate career, and what if I can't top it? What if I don't know how to transition to the next topic and everything else feels like chasing fleeting moments and I can't stop it? Like romanticizing that feeling of being an adult. As a kid, I once asked my mom, why is it taking so long? And looking at it now, I'm exactly where I belong. I may have sped at different parts along the way, totaled my car going the wrong way, but now at red lights, I've learned to stop, taking it all in, because even though they seem insignificant and sometimes pain in the ass, there are parts in our journey that force us to pause and appreciate the little things that get us to where we're going. So when my GPS glitches and I feel like I've lost my way, I look around and I know that everything's gonna be okay. So be patient with yourself as you go, for there are long drives ahead and untouched land to explore, where sometimes unanswered questions turn into even more. But just remember, it's not so much the destination, but the never-ending journey that we learn to adore. Never stop growing up. The last thing I want to leave you all with is my mom's life motto: make one thing more beautiful every day. And that's as simple as stopping to have a conversation with someone. It takes 30 seconds to impact someone's life. So no matter how easy it can become to judge someone's actions, there's always more than one side, or even two sides to every matter. So be patient with people as you go, including yourself. And congratulations.
Thank you, Katelyn. That was wonderful. Now it's my honor to present the candidates for the conferral of their degrees. I will call on the deans of the college to present the bachelor's candidates to Chancellor Block. Presenting the candidates for the bachelor's degrees in the Division of Physical Sciences is Dean Miguel Garcia Garibay.
Thank you, Adriana. Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelors of Science and Bachelors of Arts in the Division of Physical Sciences please raise and remain standing? Well, you have learned about the great challenges of our time, deep questions about the nature of our universe, about our origins, and above all, about our future in the world in which we live. For instance, climate change lies in the domain of our students in atmospheric and oceanic sciences, earth, planetary, and space sciences, and also the Institute of the Environment and Sustainability. The discovery of compounds that cure disease and that lead to the sustainable generation of energy will be the world of our graduates in chemistry and biochemistry. The investigation into the structure and deep history of our universe, as well as the possibility of other life in the cosmos, will be pioneered by our physics and astronomy graduates. Our graduates in mathematics and statistics will pioneer the mastery of the flood of data that we must now process in order to understand and manage an ever more complex world. All of this and more will be addressed by you, our graduates in, I want to go script here and encourage our graduates to make a little bit of noise when you hear your department, all right? You're not many, but you're some of the best and some of the noisiest. How about our majors in atmospheric and oceanic sciences? Earth, planetary, and space sciences. Statistics. Environmental science. Physics and astronomy. Mathematics. Chemistry and biochemistry. Excellent. Physical sciences graduates, you all live here with a deep fund of knowledge in the science underlying what we know about our world. You also carry with you finely honed skills in reasoning and analysis that will equip you to overcome the most daunting intellectual challenges that will be thrown your way. You are the cream of the crop. You master the hard sciences. Chancellor Block, it is my honor to present to you the dedicated, inquisitive, analytical, gifted, and altogether stellar candidates for the degrees of Bachelors of Science and Bachelors of Arts from the Division of Physical Sciences.
Thank you, Miguel. Candidates for the bachelor's degrees from the Physical Sciences, please be seated. Presenting the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Division of Humanities is Dean David Schaberg.
Thank you, Adriana. Humanities graduates, please prepare to raise up your voices in major noise making. Will the candidates of Bachelor of Arts degree in the Division of Humanities please rise and remain standing? All right. Graduates, when I think of you, I reflect that the greatest public research university in the land educates experts and seekers of knowledge of many kinds, and that among these, since UCLA's founding over a century ago, there have always been the experts in humankind, the young people who felt called upon to study the human legacy itself, the thought and languages and literatures and arts that define our personal and social lives and our long cultural histories. Indeed, universities have, since their earliest beginnings over a millennium ago, made a special place, a fundamental place for the consideration of human value, human meaning, and human improvement. From this seed, the university grew and continues to grow, even as we humans have faced ever-renewed challenges and opportunities. Humanities graduates, what have you learned and what will you take with you from UCLA to teach others? You're graduates in philosophy, and you are exacting caretakers of the truth. Please join me in cheering the philosophers. You are linguists, scholars of language itself as a human faculty and a medium of communication. You are art historians, keen observers of the image and its uses. You are scholars of religion and of how humans' deepest beliefs about the world shape our lives. You are learners of difficult languages and sharp and independent-minded readers of the literatures of the world, literatures in English, in Asian languages and cultures, yes, Near Eastern languages and cultures, comparative literature, classics, Spanish and Portuguese, Slavic, East European, and Eurasian languages and cultures, and European languages and transcultural studies. And many of you here have completed minors in digital humanities, in the study of religion, and in LGBTQ studies. I hope that you've completed the coursework for your degrees with joy in learning and with a real drive to understand all that is human. But I know you're also aware of the very practical, very considerable powers that you've acquired. You are highly trained writers and speakers. You're readers and translators and interpreters of complex human situations, including situations of conflict. Mm-hmm. You're living encyclopedias of culture and spokespeople for the commitments held most dear by human beings. And you are critics, creators, free thinkers, fighters for justice, and continually self-correcting learners and teachers. These are powers that any workplace needs. They're also very clearly the powers that the world will need. Chancellor Block, I present to you the eloquent, cultured, thoughtful, resourceful, passionately humane candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts from the Division of Humanities.
Thank you, David. Candidates for the bachelor's degree from the humanities, please be seated. Presenting the candidates for the bachelor's degrees in the Division of Life Sciences is Dean Tracy Johnson.
Thank you, Adriana. Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts in the Division of Life Sciences please rise and remain standing? I would like to start by congratulating all of you for what you've accomplished at a truly extraordinary time. I'm sure that when you started your journey, you had no idea that your graduation, or indeed your year, would be quite like this. While this time has brought challenges to us all, it is also important to take stock of what the disciplines within the life sciences, which all of you have explored and embraced, have accomplished in this extraordinary time. Accomplishments like research in psychology that has helped us understand and, yes, ameliorate the psychological stresses of our time. Advances in computational and systems biology that has allowed us to see the sequence of a virus to single nucleotide resolution to understand its biology. And because of fundamental studies in immunology and molecular biology, we were poised to develop and distribute in record time life-saving treatments and protective vaccines. Yes, in the last couple years, disciplines in the life sciences have quite literally been at the center of addressing the most fundamental global challenges of a generation. But frankly, this isn't new. Life sciences disciplines have long been at the forefront of addressing the most fundamental and existential questions of our time. Questions like, what is the impact of human activity on the planet? And what do we need to do to mitigate its effects? How do we prevent and cure the life-threatening diseases? What is consciousness? How do we think? How do we learn? How do we love? And how does that 3-pound organ inside of our skull affect all of this? At UCLA, to address these exciting biological questions, we offer a dozen majors in the life sciences, and now it's time to make some noise, including computational and systems biology, ecology, behavior, and evolution, marine biology, human biology and society, cognitive science, microbiology, immunology, and molecular genetics, molecular, cell, and developmental biology, physiology, neuroscience, psychobiology, biology, and psychology. So as UCLA has just recently marked its first 100 years, you, our graduating Bruins, will lead us into the next 100 years as our future leaders, doctors, teachers, research scientists, therapists, entrepreneurs, and global citizens. So Chancellor Block, it is my honor to present to you the psychologically well-adjusted, neurologically well-connected, ecologically sensitive, evolutionarily complex, immunologically resistant, molecularly sophisticated, physiologically well-integrated, computationally advanced, and are absolutely amazing candidates for the degrees of Bachelors of Science and Bachelor of Arts from the Division of Life Sciences.
Thank you, Tracy. Please be seated. Presenting the candidates for the bachelor's degrees in the Division of Social Sciences is Dean Darnell Hunt.
Thank you, Adriana. Well, of course, they've saved the best for last. Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelors of Arts in the Division of Social Sciences please rise and remain standing? You have earned this moment through the hard work, long hours, and perseverance you have shown. Each of you should be incredibly proud of what you have accomplished. Our motto in the social sciences is engaging LA changing the world. And you are now positioned and expected to take what you have learned and make your mark on the world. As social scientists, you will have the opportunity to have a seat at the table to help achieve the positive changes you want to see in the world. As social scientists, you will address economic, political, and social conditions in order to create more equity and opportunity in our public and private institutions. As social scientists, you will examine the roots of social and cultural conflicts to move us towards a more just and humane society. As social scientists, you will communicate across cultures and communities, forging enduring partnerships with people different from yourselves, whether from different neighborhoods, different cities, different states, or different nations. As social scientists from UCLA, you will have learned from the faculty and departments that are among the best in the world, and you will be active agents for change in the construction of a better society. All of you in the social sciences, including those in geography, aerospace, military science, and naval science, right? American Indian Studies, communication, labor studies, anthropology, Asian American studies, gender studies, Chicana, Chicano, and Central American studies, right? History, sociology, African American studies, political science, and last but certainly not least, economics. Right. Graduates, you have learned to look at the world through a new lens of understanding. You have the research skills, the cultural insight, and community-oriented perspective to change the world. Today, we celebrate your achievements and the promise of a future that benefits from your leadership. You have reached this moment not despite the challenges you have faced, but because you faced those challenges with dedication, thoughtfulness, and hard work. Chancellor Block, I am honored to present to you the most socially engaged, research-savvy, service-oriented, culturally creative, interactionally skillful, intersubjectively attuned, around-the-clock inspiring and inspired, multilingual, multicultural, and multi-everything you could ever think of plus more. The candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelors of Arts from the great, unique, awesome, breathtaking, tremendous, splendid, impressive, and superb UCLA Division of Social Sciences. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Well, thank you. A very compelling set of cases have been made here. I'm overwhelmed by the enthusiasm of your deans. So candidates for the bachelor's degree, your presence here demonstrates the rich reward of intelligence and perseverance. The UCLA community takes great pride in celebrating your achievements, the class of 2022. Congratulations on all your achievements. So more than anything, I hope your experience at UCLA has opened up windows on the world and leaves you yearning to know more. Hopefully what you've learned just makes you hungrier to learn more. The skills you've acquired here hopefully will serve you well into the future. And now the official part, the part I have to say, if I don't say it, I think you're back here next year, and we have no room for you next year. Very big class coming in, so I must say this. Now, by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Regents of the University of California, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science. Congratulations.
Graduates, let me congratulate all of us on becoming the newest alumni of UCLA as the class of 2022. Now, we have one final tradition to observe. Before we received our degrees, we wore our tassels on the right side of our mortarboards. Now that our degrees have been conferred, it is time to move the tassel to the left and join the select company of UCLA graduates. Bachelors, turn your tassels.
Congratulations. To close commencement, please join in the singing of the alma mater, Hail to the Hills of Westwood, performed by Nikki Najad Razul.
Hail to the hills of Westwood, to the mighty sea below. Hail to our alma mater, she will conquer every foe. For we're loyal to the Southland, her honor will uphold. We'll gladly give our hearts to thee, to the blue and to the gold.
Thank you, Nikki. And to all of you, thank you very much for joining us today. Best wishes to the class of 2022. Congratulations and go Bruins.
Please check around you to ensure you don't leave anything behind. Then please exit Pauley Pavilion and reunite with your graduate outside.